Here are our top 5 AI and software tools for solos and small firms in 2024. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the 5 AI and software tools that we use in our firm, in our everyday practice, in our everyday sort of business management, which involves everything, right? Cases, marketing, business. So it's a lot as business owners, as solos and small firms. And what we want to do is sort of share the software, the AI that we're using, the tools that we're using. Again, these aren't things that, people talk about how AI is going to replace attorneys, or there's this fear about that, right? I think that's overblown. Really what it is there are amazing tools that are coming onto the market that are available for us as attorneys, as business owners to use to become more efficient, to become more effective. And I think those are the sort of 2 keywords that we want to make sure that we kind of get out there. These are tools that are help us become more efficient, become more effective. The most important thing is our clients and handling their cases, but then surrounding that, there's the whole business, right? And so how can we continue to be effective and efficient?
Yeah. No, I think we're living in such a great time to practice as attorneys, as for us specifically, personal injury attorneys. I just think about, you've been practicing more than I have, of course, but I just think about a few years ago how different things were and just the change, since the pandemic, I would say. And being open to using these tools, learning how to use them. And like you said, it's being effective, it's being efficient. And ultimately, like you said, it's not going to replace attorneys, but it is a great way to serve your clients. And 100%. That's what we're here. That's, as attorneys, we're here to help people. And I think that's what these tools that we're using have helped us do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you and I talk a lot about I share my experiences with you about, when I first started. And I started practicing in 2015. So it's not that long ago.
Right.
But in terms of sort of the legal landscape and legal tech, oh my God, it's an entirely different world. I remember a time when it was just red wells and papers all the time. Neither courts nor opposing counsel would accept electronic signatures. Right. You had to mail documents to your clients all the time for everything to get signed. It's an entirely different world, and it's one for the better because we can serve our clients better, and it helps our practice be more efficient.
Definitely. So why don't we get into our top 5 tools, and we'll start off with number 1, which is Filevine. And so, Ken, do you want to go into what Filevine is and how we've been able to use it here at our firm? Yeah,
so Filevine is a CMS or CMP, and what that stands for is a case management platform, case management software, or case management system. Essentially what it is, it's a place, it is like a centralized workspace where you can put everything that you need and where you can work off of. We love it. It's something that I wanted from the very beginning. When we opened up, I was initially using Dropbox as a solo, right? And that's where I think a lot of solos do that, or some form or version of Dropbox where you store all your documents online and you can access it anywhere because it's on the cloud. But, very quickly I noticed that, there were certain limits to that, right? It was just a document storage and there wasn't anything I could do beyond that. And as having a personal injury practice, there's a lot that's going on, and the more clients that you have, there's a lot of things going on at the same time. And so what we like about Filevine and how we use it in our everyday practice is that, Filevine, I'm able to not just store all my documents, but in terms of the storage, I'm also able to create documents. We're able to create templates. We're able to move documents within different projects, and it's a lot more structured than something that I would simply create on some simple sort of document storage system.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the thing about Filevine in our case is that you can assign tasks. You can create workflows. And I love that because, one thing was having everything stored on the cloud, but then separately, you're trying to have your to-do list, right? And it's all like written out. Maybe you had it on Outlook, you had different tasks. Maybe you had a document or an Excel sheet. I remember, many years ago, I had Excel sheets keeping track of like what I needed to do. And, that required a lot of time and a lot of work, right? And that's independent from actually doing work on cases, right? Just keeping track of all those things. Whereas here on Filevine, I can assign a task. Hey, Kenny, do this. Hey, Sharon, do this. And the person gets notified, right? And we see all the tasks there on the screen. And deadlines, you get notifications for all of that. And this concept of workflows as well that we really love. So that, again, trying to become more effective, more efficient. If, for example, we sign on a client, it triggers workflows, right? It assigns tasks automatically. I don't need to go in and do that. It's something that we have already programmed into it. And I don't have to think about, okay, now that I've signed a client, we need to send out, this, we need to send out Y, we need to send out Z, and then now we gotta, do all these things. No, the tasks get assigned automatically, and you have it now. You just know you have to check off your tasks. And it's great. It's one less thing that you have to worry about in terms of keeping track of everything. And it keeps everybody running more efficiently and moving forward. And so we love that. It's also access anywhere, right? Whether it's on your laptop, on your iPhone, on your iPad, wherever you have internet connection, you can access it. One thing I did wish is that there was some sort of like mobile app, right? But you can access it through your phone browser as well. So, and that's great. Documents, anything that you need, you can access. Yeah. A couple additional things that I really like, and I know that we share this sort of path, that we enjoy this, is that each case can get assigned a unique text and a unique email. Right. And our clients love that. Because, when we send them the welcome letter after they signed on with us, they get a welcome letter and, we provide all the contact information. And one of the things that we give them is like, look, this is your unique text number. Anything that you need, you can text us at this number. If you need to send us photos, if you need to send us any updates, if you need to send us any documents, whatever, you can email us, of course. You can email me, you can email Sharon, but you can also text it to us. And it gets uploaded directly into your file in our case management system. It's so great. And, that saves us a lot of time as well. We have clients that, once they understand that, they love it, all right? Because, they go to the hospital, they say, hey, they shoot us a quick text. Hey, I just saw this specialist. This is the specialist's name. These are the tests that they ordered. And, send us a text. And that's great because, one, they feel that they're communicating with us, and they are. We love it because we're receiving those updates. And it's not a 10, 15-minute call that I have with my client to get that. They're just sending that, and that's happening across different cases all at once, right? Again, your time is very valuable as a business owner. Your time is very valuable as a solo, as a small firm, and being able to become, to streamline things is really helpful. And clients love it because there's communication. We send them a text back, says, hey, received, it's been added to your file. They feel great, we feel great, and that helps us represent them in a much better and more effective manner.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just a few minutes ago, I think we got a text from one of our clients there, and they love it. Yeah, so it's great all around for our team here. Us two being the attorneys, and as clients as well. Keeps everything organized and efficient. Like we've been talking about.
Yeah, and it reduces redundancy. I love. And just a couple other things I'll say. One is that you can also send documents to clients for signature, electronic signatures.
Yes.
Those are add-ons, but those are part of the platform. Really quick, unlimited links. So if you need to send a link to an expert or to opposing counsel, to an insurance carrier with the link to your exhibits, you can create those links and send them out. You can, if you have Co-Counsel, you can share your entire file with your Co-Counsel, even if they don't have Filevine, and they can access those documents. And that's great. So really love Filevine. And one big overarching thing about Filevine is that it is customizable to your area of law, however you want it. And we're constantly finding better ways to streamline things, right? So we're changing stuff on there all the time. It does require some time in terms of sitting down and trying to figure that out on the outset. But for us, we knew that's what we wanted. And so we did. And I really love Filevine.
Yeah, a great choice for our firm.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that, Ken. So moving on to our second software/AI tool that we're using. You want to go ahead and share about that as well?
Yeah, so the second one is Co-Counsel, and that's legal research AI. Okay, so Co-Counsel is a part of this company called Casetext, and they are a platform for legal technology. They've been around for more than 10 years. Right. And they really started coming into the forefront of this entire AI and legal world when, they were a company that had, my understanding, by watching videos and stuff from them, right? As we were doing research for whether or not it was a right choice for us, is that they had early access to Chat GPT, right? And started gearing it toward the legal industry. And we all hear these horror stories about AI being used in cases, right? We've all heard about that situation where somebody submitted a brief and it cited a case that didn't exist, and it was done with AI, ChatGPT, right? And so I think that scares people off, and we don't want to use it. I certainly was one of those where I was like, I'm not going to touch that because I don't want to run into that scenario. And here's the difference with Co-Counsel and let's say typical ChatGPT that you can just sign on to, right? And the difference is that ChatGPT is pulling from the entire known internet universe, right? So anything that anyone has ever put onto the internet is available for that AI system to grab information from, right? So whether it's on a thread on Reddit or wherever, right? So it's gonna pull incorrect information. Co-Counsel, what they've done is that they've created a limited bank, a limited universe filled with actual case law and secondary sources. So when you ask that question, when you ask a question within their platform, you say, hey, can you give me, what is the law or what is the statute of limitations for a wrongful death case in California? It's going to pull from actual case law, from actual statutes, from actual secondary sources, and give you the answer. So that's great because you're pulling from things that are valid, from sources that are valid. And so Co-Counsel can create memos. You can ask questions just like as if you were asking, somebody in your office, a clerk, an associate, hey, I need research on these areas, create a memo for me, and it'll produce a memo, and it'll be done in a couple of minutes, right? So it's not that entire, it's not days, it is something very quick, but it doesn't end there. It also does a lot more. It can create summaries. You can upload documents, create summaries, deposition transcripts of documents that you upload. You can upload documents and ask specific questions and queries. Hey, find this, identify that. It can draft emails and letters to opposing counsel. It can create a timeline of events from the documents that you have. One of the things that I use it for in particular is that, medical record summaries, right? Now, it doesn't create the medical record summaries that we're used to, like when we send it off to, the company that we use to create our legal summaries with all the codes, agnostic codes and all of that. But it does a really good job of taking all the medical records and, I can ask it, identify, the dates of treatment, what was the treatment provided, what was the diagnosis, and it gives it to me. And that's really helpful just at first blush for me to see, right? Now, I will say one of the things that I heard once, and I certainly apply it, is, don't treat this, the way to treat Co-Counsel is as if it was the very best first year associate that you can, right? You're still gonna have to review the work, You can't just take it and run with it. You're still gonna have to review it, but it certainly gets you going and it cuts so much time. I've used it, on cases where it helps me get demands out a lot quicker and not have to then pay for, additional services because I was able to use the capabilities provided here through Co-Counsel. So I really enjoy it. I really like it. It's something I think that's very helpful. There is a cost to it, but for solos and small firms, it's based off of how many attorneys are on your firm. So if you're a solo, then it's going to be at a lower price. It might be something that might make sense.
Yeah, like you said, you pay. There's a price, like you said, to it, but it's like how much, like you were saying, our time is valuable as attorneys. So if it's worth it for somebody, pay that price to save you so much more time. Absolutely. And again, it's about being effective and efficient and helping your client's case move along a lot more, swiftly, or just getting it done, not leaving things letting so much time pass. Because that can happen, especially when, like you said, you're solo or small firm. You got so many cases, so many documents to review. This is something that can help, and has certainly helped us in moving cases along. Yeah, and Sharon, just to that point, one of the ways that I use it as well is that, let's say like with intakes, or sometimes you get this huge amount of documents and you're like, oh, I don't have time to look at it right now. Like I need to do it at some other time, right? Well, now what I've started doing is like, okay, well, they've sent these records to me. I'll upload them, put them on the
upload them into Co-Counsel, and just open it in a separate window, minimize that or put it somewhere else. And I've given it the work, hey, summarize this, and it can provide different levels of summaries, like brief, very detailed or comprehensive summaries. And I say, hey, like summarize it for me, and I ask specific questions, and then just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Let it do its work while I continue doing something else, right? And when it's ready, it can send me a notification and I can take a look at it, but it's already started the work, as opposed to, putting it off for a few days because you just don't have the time, right? And
Such
not
a
just
time
with
saver.
potentials, but a bunch of others. So I love doing that, and sometimes I have various tabs of that going on at the same time. I'm just putting it to work. It's like, you brought in a clerk, an associate, somebody like to work. You've given them additional sort of tasks, and go out and do it while I continue doing my work. And it's such a time saver.
Ooh, that's great. I love that. So with that, we'll move on to kind of our third tool, our software/AI tool that we're using. And that is Whippy. And Whippy, if you've seen it, maybe you've heard of it. We heard about it through a webinar, a legal webinar, and decided to check it out. And it's basically a chatbot. But not basically. It's a chatbot, but so much more than that, as we figured out. And so if you go on our website, you will see that chatbot there on the right-hand side at the bottom. Great way for someone to message us. But what we loved about Whippy is just the ability to have so many ways to communicate to leads, to clients, existing clients or past clients. What I love is there's things called campaigns where you can send mass texts to individuals, whether it be your clients. That's what we've used it for. Yeah. For example, we sent a New Year's text to all of our past clients, our current and our past clients. Just keeping in touch with them. I think it's so important. Sometimes after a case is over, it's like, great, here's your check. Wish you the best. But being able to have that touch point again, keeping us in mind, right?
Absolutely.
And hopefully they've had a great experience with us, and sending that text allows them, again, like, oh yeah, these are the attorneys I had who helped me on my car accident case.
That was the first time we used it. And the reception?
We got a lot of responses. And that's the great thing about Whippy, is that gives you data, who responded and who didn't, but it's all in one place as well. So I love that. When I say it's all in one place, it's on desktop, definitely, but there's also an app, which I really liked. Both of us have the app, and it's just a nice, clean interface. So I really love that. And even sequences, it's what they call sequences. So for instance, we set it up where if you text injury to our number, to our main number, what will happen is we set up sequences where it'll do like a mini intake for us. So the individual's just texting back and forth with some questions that we laid out, and allows us, right, to be able to filter and see if this is a case that we can, help that lead with, potential clients with. And I think it's just a great way, again, saving some time, efficiency, and being able to quickly get that information where, sometimes that information can take a little bit of time over the phone to gather. So that's been really great.
And Sharon, one of the things is that we knew that we needed to do something to that effect, because when people would call our office, we would take our time with them, right? And even if it was something that like we don't handle, like, we care and we want to help them. So we would take their info and see, like, hey, let's see if there's somebody that we can find or help you or whatever. And sometimes people are going through very difficult stuff. So you don't want to just say, hey, we can't help you, hang up the phone, right? But it does take time, right? And so realizing that the world does communicate through text and people love that, like this is a way for that filtration process to go through, again, with us continuing to do our everyday work. And that's going on in the background.
Right. That's great. So we love that. I love that it allows us access to our Google reviews. You can connect your Google My Business to your Whippy account and be able to quickly respond to any reviews you have on there. And it's been great to get those, because as solos and small firms, Google reviews, I think for many businesses, but for us especially, you have to be able to get those Google reviews in. Thankfully, it's worked for us. It's been great. And it also follows up. Let's say just like, potential clients, potential leads. We have the ability to just send up send follow-up texts, checking in, if it's a potential lead, following up again. Hey, we just wanted to check in, see if this is something you'd like us to help with, So it's really great as well. So like I said, it's a chatbot, but it's so much more. And what I love as well is we've done integrations with it. Yeah. So if someone fills out a form on our website, or the website form that gets gathered, it also is sent to Whippy, and Whippy automatically sends a text to that lead as well. It's like, okay, we've received your information. Do you have time to get on a call? Because it's so important, as for all injury or PI attorneys as well, to be able to get to those leads as soon as possible, and that helps us in that respect. So we really like Whippy. Yeah, it's been great for us so far.
No, absolutely.
And so with that, want to move on to number four of our AI software tools that we're using, and that is Lead Docket. And Lead Docket is a CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. So it's a CRM tool that helps, at least for us, helps analyze and manage our leads. So we recently made the shift to it, say towards the end of last year. Yeah. And so I'm currently working with our implementation specialist, making sure things look good. But basically, it's part of Filevine, but it's also kind of somewhat in its own world, but it allows us to keep track of our leads, keep track of intakes. All of our intakes, all of our leads are in there. Yeah. And what I like is that
just one thing here, so people understand is, so it is kind of in its own platform. It's a part of Filevine, but so Filevine and all the cases that we have are on, let's just say, our CMS, case management system or platform, right? And they're found there. And if you go there, those are the cases that we have, and those are our active cases. That's what we're working on. Separate from that, on another sort of platform, is Lead Docket, and that's where we have all our intakes and even cases that have been referred out. Everything is maintained there, right? So they are, while the same company, visually they're in a different sort of platform, and that helps keep things organized. Because what was starting to happen is that we had, on our case management system, both the cases that we were handling and intake cases and
and the referred out
cases. So like you had everything there, and you needed to try to organize it a certain way. But now visually it's a lot cleaner. Filevine's going to have everything that we're actively handling. Lead Docket has all the intakes and cases that have been referred out. It's much visually cleaner and easier to keep track of. Keep going.
Yeah, easier to keep track of. I love that you can set up automations as well. There are automated tasks when a lead is put in a certain status, such as chase or sign up. I'm automatically given a task. If it's sign up, send the retainer, send the HIPAA forms, everything that we need. And we have those forms. We prepared them, so it has all the client's information. All the client needs to do is sign it, and that can be sent via text or via email. So it's been really great. Like I said, we're working on it, and I've been able to test it already, and I love it. And I think it's also helpful just keeping, again, a CRM. It's keeping track of data. It can give you reports. So we can see where these leads are coming from. Are we getting majority through the phone? Are, many, or through our website form, or through Whippy as well. And I've done the same. We've been able to do the same thing. Whereas if someone fills out the form on our website, one of the forms, that information gets pushed over into Lead Docket, and it's already there, and boom, we can get on it right away, start content, and then Whippy sends that text, and we're able to get on the phone with the client right away, or follow up with them, see if this, review their case, see if it's something we can help them with. And as well with, and like I said, Whippy's integrated with it as well. Someone fills out, a text on the chatbot on our website, it sends us a message through the chatbot. Yeah. That gets pushed over into Lead Docket as well. And so it's been really great, and it allows us to also follow up with potential clients via email or text. We can send those through Lead Docket as well. So the data and reports, I think that's so helpful information. Sometimes we don't, I think for maybe a while, we don't know kind of where the majority of our clients coming from, or is it mostly referrals, or is it, is our local efforts, our marketing efforts, are they working out?
Yeah.
I think it's really great in that sense as well. Keep track of that data.
Yeah, it's so much that it does, and I love that. And then so like once we sign up a case on Lead Docket, what happens? And this part I really love.
Yes, yeah. So once you sign up the case, then we move it into the signed up status. And so what happens is then that information, when it's ready, when we say so, gets pushed over into Filevine. So that lead becomes a case, and that case of ours gets pushed over into Filevine with all the information and data and the documents along with it. So I think that's super great, as we were saying, just keeping it clean, keeping leads, referred cases over in Lead Docket, and our cases over in Filevine. That's what we liked about it, right? It is a Filevine product, and what drew us is like, that this information can easily get transferred over into
Integration.
Filevine. Yeah.
And no, so that's great. You don't have to do double the work once you signed it on. No, now it's automatically pushed over. You don't need to input new data. It's there. And again, the idea, effective, efficient. Just a minute or two saved on a case is valuable, right? And we're saving much more than a minute.
For sure. Definitely. So that's Lead Docket. And finally, number 5, kind of put these software AI tools kind of in a one bucket here. It's our content kind of creation tools that we're using. And as solos and small firms, it's more likely that maybe you're doing your own social media, you're kind of, putting that stuff out there yourself. Maybe you have a small team, but regardless, like these tools help us in terms of being, again, effective, efficient, because what's most important here is what we're doing on a day-to-day basis is running our cases, helping our clients out. But it's important from a marketing perspective to be on social media, to have a presence, right, in the digital world. And what's great is, social media has allowed us as small firms to be able to, have free marketing. So on these social media platforms. So these are some of the tools that we use to just kind of help us, whether it's video or graphics. And one of those tools, I'm gonna lay out 5 here. What we've gotten is Canva, and Canva, it helps you with graphics, making graphics, helps you with making videos, and there's a lot of AI features in there as well. Kind of everything. All these software tools have some form of AI in there. So I've been able to help it with, I've been able to use it to help us make graphics on our social media or any videos, something quick. So you don't need to be a Photoshop expert anymore. If you use Canva, it's a really easy interface as well. And that's one of the tools that's helped me out. I have 119 per year for the pro plan, but I think it's worth it. It saves us, again, effective and efficient. It saves me a lot of time, saves us a lot of time to be able to get some things out there on social media, still have that presence in the digital world. And also one of the other tools is CapCut. I think many of us heard of it as well. It's a kind of editing tool, and you have it on your phone. There's a version, video editing. Yes. So you have it on your phone. There's a desktop version, but if we shoot a video quickly on my phone, I can just quickly edit that in CapCut. I can add captions, make some nice captions on there, post it to social media or wherever. So I really like that. And I believe it's only 120 per year. So again, not a lot, not too much of a big investment, but it does save in terms of time, saves you time. Maybe we don't have enough time to learn Premiere Pro. You don't need to be a Premiere Pro expert either. You can just do it quickly on your phone and get out a lot of great content.
And by the way, Sharon, so everybody knows and it's clear, like Sharon is working overtime on so many different things. But one of the things that she does is all our social media and our videos. And this is really helping you push stuff out quicker, right? And being able to do that stuff. And these sort of tools allow you, right, to get all that stuff out in both. So if you go on into our social media or our Instagram pages or whatever, that's sharing, putting that stuff out, and these tools have helped you.
It's time saver and it's fun. I love learning this stuff, and it's cool. All these features that they're coming out with, it's crazy, but you can quickly make a video in like 10 minutes.
And it's like if you know how to post a story, or sorry, put up a story, post something on Instagram, like you'll be able to use these as well, right? Now, to different degrees, right? I think Sharon has become really proficient at not just these tools, but like more expert tools. And that's just because Sharon has, put in a lot of time and done that. But I think what you're suggesting here is stuff that you can hit the ground running, and you don't need background in video editing or any of that stuff to start putting good quality stuff out.
Yeah, exactly, Ken. Thanks. And of course, the other tool, ChatGPT, we're all familiar with that. There is free and paid versions, but how we use it is help us write Instagram captions or captions for social media. That's how I've been doing it. I give it kind of like, this is what I want. This is the kind of post I want it to be. An engaging caption, targeting this audience. Write it out for me. It writes out a caption. I will typically maybe make slight edits, but, so I don't have to think so much about making the caption. It creates those engaging captions for me. So there is, like I said, free, paid version. And that's how we've been using it. And quickly, to finish off is just these other tools. One is Opus Clip. And Opus Clip helps you create, let's say you have a long form video, it can chop up that video so you can post it to social media. So let's say solo, small firms, you have speaking engagement. And what we've been doing, right, whenever we have the ability, we're allowed to, we record that, whether it's a speaking engagement you had or I've had, we record it, and then we throw that video into Opus Clip. And it'll, use its AI software to come up with some usable videos that you can post to social media. Right. Again, you want to have a presence on social media and, but you don't want to, like I said, it takes time to edit videos. It takes time it's a learning curve. Yeah. But these are great ways. Opus is a great way to kind of get those, splice up and get those short form videos so you can post to social media.
I love video editing. I know you love video editing, right? But you don't have 2-3 hours.
You got cases to run.
We got cases. We got things that are much more important than that, right? But then this helps it push it out much quicker.
For sure. So there's that, and finally, there's these kind of another long form editing software. It's two actually. So it's Firecut and Autopod. They edit long form videos. So actually, this video is being edited with Firecut. So minimal edits, right? It takes time to edit these videos. You do need to use it, at least both of them. You need to use it with Adobe Premiere Pro. And Adobe Premiere Pro is a software, you pay a monthly subscription for it. But they're both, plugins, extensions that you use and say you do kind of videos like these, or again, maybe it's a speaking engagement, or you do a podcast. That's what Autopod is for. It can quickly edit those videos for you as well. So you don't have to, you either do it yourself or hire an editor to edit that video for you. And they come just, at a, fraction of the cost. And so if this is something that these kind of videos or long form videos you're doing regularly, it's a good investment in terms of, saving you a lot of time. So those are the tools that I have to share. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Sharon, for sharing that. We really do hope that this discussion, I think it's a little longer than we anticipated, right? But I think like in a good way, because we just kind of wanted to get that information out in the hopes that it helps you in your practice. We are advocates of the stuff that we use, the tools that we use. And we also know that there's a lot of other sort of tools out there available, and perhaps this discussion gets you thinking about how you can apply these tools to your practice, to your business. We really do hope it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to talk about this. We love helping out. We believe that there's so much success available to go around for everybody, right? So the more that we help each other, the better. And the better our own practices and businesses become, the better we're all able to represent clients and it helps the legal industry, right? So feel free to reach out to us, DM us, you can email us, you can call us, whatever works best. We can hop on a call or Zoom, whatever, and we're happy to help. We're here to help.
Thank you everyone for listening and hanging out with us.
Yeah, until next time.